Hi moms, how are you? I'm here giving you another dose of tequila. These messages are for those of you that can handle your liquor. We're going to just see whatever message Spirit has for you guys. What do you need to know? What clarity? For whoever's got it to this reading, that's what it's going to be about. So we got strong messages of love. That's what I'm getting here. We got deception. Okay. Someone's wearing a false mask here. And we also have a free yourself. So this is a strong breakup energy that I'm picking up on. Whoever you are. All right. I'm picking up on a mom that is either about to become a single parent, or you're deciding to kind of go your separate ways. Okay. I'm also picking up that some of you have already made this transition and something is coming in for those of you. So we're going to kind of do something different for that scenario. So for those of you moms that are about to go through a major breakup in your life, for those of you that can intuitively just feel in the pit of your stomach, that your mind and your intuition and your feelings and everything in your life is just pointing you towards this direction of finally letting go of someone. We're going to see what direct message Spirit has for you over here. And for those of you that have already crossed over this threshold, you've already left someone and now something's about to come in, because I feel like there's two sides to this story or this spectrum. Okay, for those of you that are resonating with this message. So for those of you moms, maybe you're just now having a baby, maybe you just lost a baby. I'm hearing there was a spiritual lesson involved. For those of you where either you had a miscarriage or something didn't go through with this person, or there was some type of situation where you guys weren't able to keep the child. Maybe you're growing apart and there's just this energy of like, you thought this person would do differently, or you're questioning your judgment in regards to this person. So let's see what message Spirit has for you that's coming upon a breakup. Spirit, what message do you have for those mothers that are about to go through a serious breakup? So we have karmic relationships. So Spirit wants you to know that person was a karmic relationship. You guys were meant to teach each other something up until a certain point, and then go your separate ways from there. Okay. And Spirit, can you show me, for those of my moms that have already left this person, maybe at times you are the type of person, or you go through this experience of you wonder if you should go back or if you should run back to it, or you're just trying to completely be done with it. But however, this person doesn't want to let you go, so they're holding on tight to you. Let's see what Spirit has to say to you. What message does Spirit want you to know about what's coming? Okay, because it feels like you're at a crossroad and this person is trying to lure you back in. Coming for those moms that have walked away, that are looking for their soulmates, looking for a better love. So we have children here. We have health. Okay, so you have a lot on your plate. You have a lot on your to-do list. You have unrequited love. Okay, some of you will go through multiple different relationships and encounters, learning, okay, how to undo, how to unlearn from those karmic relationships what you've already been taught. For some of you, it was ancestral. Okay, so you may have been taught or witnessed your ancestors before you go through this similar type of merry-go-round. So you have a lot to do. You have some health issues to address. All right, for some of you, I see you working on your body. I see you going to just work on your physical, mental, and spiritual overall health. Okay. It's like something gets put to rest, something gets stopped, something gets healed, like that roller coaster ends. And then with children here, it's interesting that this is a channel for moms, right? And Spirit is saying you are in a very important role right now. You are a mother. Everything that you do It's an honor, okay? From one mom to another, it's an honor. It's not easy. I hold this very dear to my heart. Mothers really don't tend to get a lot of credit, and they don't tend to be recognized for the amount of hard work that they do. So, your life purpose involves helping, teaching, and healing children. And that's going to come into the form of, you teaching them how to eat better, you teaching them, through everyday life, how to make better choices through your actions. You're realizing just how much they follow the leader, follow the leader. Some of you could be Caribbean, or you listen to a lot of like children's music, or you incorporate music and dance and just enjoying life. And if you are doing that, Spirit wants you to know that they see you, and you might not think it's enough. You might think that you need to put them into some type of system and give them these rigorous training and do things the way that it was done to you. And Spirit was saying it doesn't sit well with you for a reason. It doesn't feel right for a reason. Don't force it. Okay. Unrequited love and persecution. I feel like you're going to get a lot of family. You're going to get a lot of romantic partners where it might start off passionate, and then you realize that, they're just not the one, right? They may remind you of the same karmic partner. They may make you feel like they weren't who you thought they were. So that unrequited love, it's like you go from karmic relationships to unrequited love. All right. Whether you realize that was a karmic, this unrequited love is saying that there's something to do with inquisition and being self-sacrificing, and you feeling like, I will not settle. So you have some type of fight. You have some type of purpose here. You're looking for chemistry where you don't have to change who you are. All right. So this is talking about you have developed that confidence. You've developed that sexual energy. You've developed that sensuality. I'm hearing belly dancing. I don't know why I'm being drawn to like her clothing here. Maybe you're interested in doing like belly dancing, and just trying different forms of connecting with your sensuality. Lord knows what this karmic relationship has done, okay, thus far. So I feel like Spirit is telling you like this time is for you, okay? For those of this time is for you. And though you might feel like you're alone, you're never alone. Though people may make you feel bad for making your decisions, for separating your families and doing all these different things, you were called to this path for a reason. Okay. Some of you have a really strong female ancestor. You may have lost. It feels like they were like the black sheep of their family or something like that. Like no one's ever good enough for you. You might be feeling like you're doomed to never ever find the relationship that's meant for you. You may feel like, you're failing as a parent. I'm seeing so many different emotions just come up from this section here. It's like you're just traveling aimlessly, and you're just trying to allow what wants to come and allow what wants to go to leave. And one thing I want to tell you is repetition. Okay, something about this, because it's happening so repetitively. Think about it. Like you're learning through repetition, right? Which is another form of teaching. So Spirit is teaching you through these failed relationships, the repetition. Like I go in, I get to know them, I don't like it, I get out. I don't stay there where it's karmic and now I'm stuck, right? I get in, I get to know them, I don't like it, I get out. Then you repeat it and repeat it, and then all of a sudden you've mastered it, right? And now the lesson stops. And then you get to have another experience, right? What experience comes after learning this lesson about not coddling a person, not giving in to the naysayers? What comes from learning this experience? What comes right after this? A reconciliation. Okay, what's the reconciliation and who is it with? What's the reconciliation and who is it with? Freedom. Ooh, Spirit is not telling you. So they want you to know that it's going to be up to you to decide. You get to really decide what you want on your terms. Look how you go from free yourself, so from just being guided to free yourself, to when you actually say, you know what, I'm free. I can pick any one of these motherfuckers and I can create a life with them. It's always been my choice. It's always been up to me. I gave my power away. I let them think that they had more say than they really did. You're the HBIC in this motherfucker. Pretty much, male or female, it don't matter. Pretty much saying you're going to find your way back to yourself, and you're going to realize that you have the power to choose. You're free to choose. So if you want somebody from your past, if you want to give this karmic relationship another chance, you can. Okay? If you want to give that unrequited false start a chance, you can. If you want to give anybody a chance, you can, because you will walk away no matter what. All right? The days of you compromising yourself based off of anything, marriage, relationships, whatever, you're saying no. If you're not going to love me no matter who you are, even if I consider you the one, if you're not going to honor me and love me the way I love myself, you are always replaceable with me. You see what I'm saying? I will always be willing to replace you with me, because I'm enough. Okay? Ouch. I can't wait for this nail to fall off. It's just getting on my nerves. So let's take a look at all of these energies, timelines, okay? So for some of you, you're waiting on this person to change. You've been waiting on this person to change for some time. You've been hoping that they would get their shit together. Now Spirit's telling you to free yourself, right? You done tried everything, give them whatever they wanted. You done tried to be their mother, their best friend, their sister, their aunt. You done play every role for this person, right? And now you're starting to see there's a stranger in my house. Took a while to figure out. Look at that. There's no way we could be Tamia. Gotta be someone else, 'cause he doesn't touch me like that. He doesn't treat me like you do. You know, so that's what that is. The person you first met, they done changed. They done switched up. Okay, they have some insecurities. Okay, when they met you, they felt like you were insecure. So they're betting on you to not give up on them, because they've created some type of dependency, and they want to be respected as having earned that. And Spirit is saying, this motherfucker ain't earned shit. They barely can earn the seat or the home they live in, the position they have. And the crazy part about it is, for some of you, they're older in age, but they're still immature. All right. King of Cups, even though everyone loves that emotional, it takes time for them to learn how to properly place all of that emotion. Okay. I feel like they're one way with you, and they're another way with someone else, you know? And they put on a facade, and they may be really good at getting people to like fall into that mysticism. Okay, I feel like this person has very mysterious eyes. They're a hard worker. They fit the bill, right? They got the resume, the long resume worth waiting for. They have that potential. But look at you with the Six of Pentacles. Something about this connection makes you feel like you can't speak up for yourself. Okay? Like you can't tell them, or you don't feel comfortable telling them, like, or asking them for anything, but you would be willing to give everything. I want you to take stock on a piece of paper. All right, whoever you are. And I want you to write on one paper all the things that you have done for this person. And on the other side of that paper, I want you to write all the things that they've done for you, that they've done to you, not just that they said to you. All right. And no, coming to just have sex with you, we're not including that on the list. We're talking about pentacles, where at this point they've invested thought, emotion, action, and now you have manifested the pentacle. So I want you to take stock. And if your list is longer than their list, all right, and you've invested a lot into this connection, and you're wondering, like, should I give up on it? Should I stay? Should I go? What should I do? Is it worth my time? You got 6, 7, 8. There ain't no love here. At any given moment, if you're not giving this person what they expect you to give them, or what they expect in return to even deal with you, they will turn it back on you. This is someone's energy. The moment that they feel like you're not worth their time, like they have to go to anyone else and you're not consistent in their life, they will dry up their love. This is someone that has the potential to emotionally manipulate you. This is someone that has the potential to turn off all the lights, okay, when you don't behave the way they want you to behave, if you're not there when they're ready to talk to you, when you're not, Lord forbid, you don't pick up the phone when they call. All right. This is someone that understands that they have worked really hard to create this persona that's respected. All right. And once you put that energy into something that is not them, that's when they become envious of you. That's when they lose their patience with you. For some of you, you could be like, I'm just dealing with the children. I'm just focusing on this. And it's still like they become jealous of their own offspring. Okay. This is like giving a human child a size 42 pants and a size 12 shoe in a vehicle and telling them to drive, but no one has taught them how to be in a relationship. No one has taught them how to treat someone. No one has taught them any of those things, because this cycle has been repeating. This is someone else's child. Just like you're raising a child, the person that's giving you a hard time is someone else's child. Forget what they see. It has nothing to do with that. At this point, it's embedded in you. You ever notice how you be like, I don't want my kids, or I don't want my children to like think that it's okay to treat a woman like this, or think that it's okay to treat another person like this, and then you will never let them see them another day in their life, and then they would grow up and still act just like the father? The reason why that happens is because it's genetics. You can't outrun that. I genuinely believe on some level, okay, I have no science to back this up, but I'm sure there's some type of theory out there that a lot of times we give birth to the stages of that development. Through the children we have, we create and we give birth to the stages of their father's development. So even in the situation where you done walked away, you done realized they was lying to you, you're mad at them, you're focusing on yourself, you're trying not to be emotionally hurt, invested, you're trying to provide, you're going the strong route, it still brings you back to yourself, right? It still brings you back to your perspective. You're still that same person. And you, even in this situation, look, you got the 9 of Pentacles. You're independent. You don't need for anything. You're grounded. You're stable. On some level, your children might be the reason you got to go reconcile and help them see this about themselves on some level, because your children will then have the same questions. It's never going to defeat you. Okay. No matter how much you walk away from the situation. But that doesn't mean that Spirit is telling you, I'm just supposed to stay there and accept it and allow them to treat me no type of way. No. Spirit is saying this journey is not easy. The journey that we took the moment we had children, it's not easy. All right. And religious factors will tell you to stay for the money. Religious factors will tell you what you should and shouldn't do. But truthfully, only God. All right. No matter who you call on. is the only thing that can reconcile a situation like this. Only God can help you deal with the karmas of this relationship. Which means what has to happen, even though you're walking away, you have to remember who you are. In order to remember who you are, you got to get still enough so you could develop a relationship with a higher power that supersedes the laws of man, okay? That supersedes the perceptions that were given to you guys through DNA or through conditioning of the world, all right? And then the blessings come. This is how that karmic relationship that you stop dealing with and you guys run amok with each other. Look at that. That's the truth. They go and you teach them something and they teach you something. Sometimes y'all get back together and sometimes you guys decide you're going to go and start a family with someone else. Now you have created another karma, and karma is not a bad thing. Karma is just what it is. It's the realm we're in. We procreate all the time. So now you go and procreate or you go and remarry, and that's perfectly fine. You can do that. But even then, you can stuff the relationship in the closet. You're going to have to unpack it with that new relationship, or you can unpack it before you get into a new relationship. Either way, those children are going to bring you right back to this person to have to help resolve their issues when that child is on their journey of trying to understand why their father was like that or why they didn't do X, Y, and Z. Some mothers be like, well, you go deal with them. I don't want to deal with them. Okay, but for whoever I'm reading for, I feel like you genuinely care. So I do feel like you are the type of person that would want to make peace, even if y'all not together, for your children, to help them on their journey understand who their chemical makeup, regardless of how you feel about one another. So yes, Spirit is going to pour into you. Spirit is going to fill you up. Spirit is going to prepare you for your next phase of your journey. I do feel like your patience is thin. I do feel like you're working hard. You're working double shifts, extra jobs. You're taking care of all the responsibilities and you're scared. Okay? You're scared. You don't know what's to come and you don't want to settle for another relationship. You have a lot to unpack. And even though the Four of Pentacles is not here, I can feel it. You're working even harder to avoid the feeling of it. So some of you, it's time for you to cry, baby. It's time for you to cry. It's time for you to scream. It's time for you to curse. It's time for you to write it out and burn it. It's time for you to, people just say, oh, forgive, forgive, forgive. It ain't that damn easy. So we're not going to sit here and act like it's just that easy to just say forgive someone. It takes time. It takes effort. All right? I'm not that type of person. I'm not detached from our human experience. It affects us. And the more we're able to confront it, the more we're able to allow ourselves to be vulnerable with it and to allow it to penetrate our hard-ass vessel, the one that we wear every fucking day, the more we're able to give purpose to each and every single experience, because it can rob us of a quality living. It can rob us of an in touch perspective or an in touch experience with our perspective. So that's what I'm seeing. So for those of you that have been guided to this channel, you're coming here for healing. You're coming here for the truth. You're coming here for clarity. You're not going to get that nowhere else. Okay? The more you chasing what's coming, you're not really getting the whole experience of today's lesson. Whenever this begins for you, whatever part of the journey you're on, everything's going to come right back to the Six of Pentacles. It's a two-part fold to this. All right, I'm going to share with y'all a little story. Three of Swords. Let me show you what heartbreak did to me. Okay, Three of Cups. I went to a birthday party. And no one will ever know this. Well, some people know this and some will never know this. But I went to a birthday party. and I had serious trust issues. And at this birthday party, I met a man. Now, this wasn't my type, okay? I didn't do men with the tattoos. I didn't do men with the golds. I didn't do a lot of things. Um, I had a thing for the quiet type, all right? Real bad, but quiet about it. You know, not so I could see it about them. I accepted it about them. But for me, they were like secret bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I kind of felt like, or I fed my ego that I kind of could see that about them, but I was like, I told myself that I was special because it was something that only I could see. But at the end of the day, with this prosecution here, right? Sometimes when you play with lions, the lion bites you back, okay? Because that lion becomes aware maybe that you're trying to tame it or change it or something to that degree. It's different for everybody. But at that time, knee deep in my own ego, you know, I rushed this process. I rushed this process really fast. Boom, 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 boom. I don't need to learn slow. I learn fast. And that's fine. I made the moves. I packed those bags. I put it in the garbage bag. I did what I needed to do. I freed myself. I jumped here, right? I had me and my kids. I got my job. I'm making investments. And then I get bored, right? Starts to feel like torture. I'm not liking my options. So then I stopped looking. Boom. I'm feeling free. I'm feeling independent. And I wasn't looking. All right. But something about this Six of Pentacles was undone. Something that I wasn't seeing wasn't complete. Right? I had created my own undoing. I hadn't properly closed out this cycle when I left my karmic partner because I still was we still had things that we hadn't sorted out, okay? We still were legally married. We just were separated. So the tangible things to really create those boundaries hadn't been created. And that's the reason why I wasn't looking for a relationship. So I had stalled majority of my life. Boom. By myself, sitting pretty, whatever. And then the tower came and started making things fall apart. But it wasn't until I met someone at a birthday party. And at this birthday party, I will never forget that face. And it wasn't even so much as that face. I didn't even notice this person. But he remembered me because apparently he had saw me once before when I had just had my baby. But he was with another karmic and I was with a karmic still. Okay? We never pursued one another. But technically that was a form of reconciliation because we laid eyes on each other at some point in our lifetime. But I just didn't remember. So when he saw me, he was like, I know you. He said, I'll never forget you. You sat on my couch and you were breastfeeding your baby. And I was like, really? I was like, oh my God, I remember you. You walked in the door. And at the time, I was looking at him like, you know, I had freshly left my karmic. They were in a whole nother state. I was in a whole nother state. He was still living with his. So he still had ties. Six of Pentacles, right? He still was invested. They had children together. They were on their second child. I was on my first. Long story short, he never forgot me. And he had slipped my mind because by this point I done got with a whole nother person. I had got back with my karmic. I done had the second child. And now I'm on my second child. And he was long gone in my mind by then. 5 years passed? And then I'm meeting him at a birthday party. And he's never been able to forget me from that one night on his couch during Thanksgiving. So he could tell me that he knew me, and I was like, how? Okay. So it's very much possible when you meet someone, even if it's for an in passing, the imprint is there for a reason. He felt like he knew me for whatever reason. So, you know, he didn't ask for my number. At the time I was single, 5 years had passed by, right? Because time didn't even matter at this time. He was single, I was single. Matter of fact, he was fresh out of fucking jail, okay? Because she had got him locked up. My karmic had put me in a situation, and I was homeless, and there was a lot of shit going on. So there was a lot of things still being resolved. He was in a place where, he would get his children. He was a father, like this person. And this was what really attracted to me to him, because he wasn't just, he was the first person to show me that fathers do exist. Okay. And though he had a karmic, he was better by himself. He was better free. Okay. He didn't want to be stuck in something. He just had this free energy spirit about him. And she wanted him to conform. Whatever their situation is, I never got involved. But I loved his children. Oh my God. His 2 children at the time, I adored them. My children loved his kids. I loved his kids. And we hadn't even been in a relationship for very long. It was happening so fast. And we just had fun. I mean, like, we played cards together. He met my family. There was no issues. This was the first time I had a relationship where there was no beef amongst, like, it. When I say it just jailed, right? But yeah, he was the first person to teach me or to show me through his life choices that, he worked overnight in construction and paid for daycare and paid for a sitter overnight. And by day, he woke his ass up every single day and made sure he didn't just take care of his kids. He got them dressed. He made sure their hair was done. He went and bought by himself. He was a single dad now. Went and literally, I'm fucking getting emotional. Shit. Okay. He was the type of person that legit cared. I mean, he would get them out the house every single day. It was summer. Okay. So here he is. It's his turn to have his children. And as far as he was concerned, he wanted his children full time. However, his karmic, they didn't have that agreement or whatever. But I mean, he loved his fucking children. And that was the first time I ever got to see that there was really no excuse. Okay. That there are men out there that are truly father figures. No matter how much sleep they lost, for the first time, I met someone that was willing to sacrifice and make hard decisions. To stand up, to be that role, to be that father like me. And that I honored and I respected. I mean, we never argued a day in our life. And I mean, like, the sex was bomb.com, okay? I had to look around for that one. It was amazing. It was almost like having a conversation with someone with your bodies without ever needing to say anything. And even though we did have those moments, it was just, once you get taken to that height, it's hard to go back. It's hard to go back down and just fuck a person. Like, I mean, that spiritual connection, that, when you're able to have it with someone, it's a beautiful thing. And so he's the person that showed me that was ever real. And I don't even know why I'm telling you all of this, but I'm telling you this, okay? Because everything was perfect. I've never had no one listen to what I say and actually do it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I never asked him to do shit. I just said, I didn't even tell him what I was looking for. I just wanted to know. He just listened to me talk about what I loved and didn't love. He just paid attention. He didn't ask questions. He didn't ask me to explain. None of that. I mean, the type of shit he would do is the type of shit I would do for other people. I'm romantic. Okay? So the romantic things I have done, I've never experienced a person do it back for me. I've never experienced anyone have that ability. He was the first person that so it was a culture shock for me to have someone come up to my job and bring me lunch. All right, to have someone come up to the hospital where I was with my kids and actually bring their children, and we just have lunch and laugh. Those are priceless things money can't buy. Okay? The time and the effort and the quality of that is something that money can't buy. It's something that I don't care what you look like, how you, it just it's not, it don't compare. Okay? So, the Six of Pentacles showed back up in my life because I was happy. All right? But I wasn't legally divorced. And I feel like that played a major role in what the events that led up to that afterwards, where my ex-husband, we're legally divorced now, but at that time in 2014, I wasn't legally divorced. At that time, he came back, he stalked the windows. He came back and he traumatized my children. He came back and did a lot of fucked up shit. But mind you, at the time, he was screaming, "Get the fuck out." And how you screaming, "Get the fuck out, I don't want to be with you." And when you see me happy and living my best life, you scorn by it. That was the karmic, okay? Because he actually put me on the curb on purpose to literally try to like do me like a dog, right? Where you try to treat someone a certain way and try to make them behave, because once they realize there's nothing better out there for them. So he would often send me out there and want me to go through struggles so I could learn that there was nothing better than him. Very narcissistic, okay? And then I would get caught up in that same karma with him to prove to him that I'm not that one. I would go back and forth with him, and I would literally be like, "You're not finna just take everything for fucking me." And I would get to the point where I was engaging in that type of strife with him. I was literally allowing him to get me caught up in karma with him over and over again. The more he would make me angry. And I had to realize that there was a stranger in my house. And I had to stop seeing him as my children's father. I had to stop seeing him as the mortal or the human being that I thought I fell in love with, and finally see him for who he really was. And sometimes we are in relationships with not a real person. Okay, we're in a relationship with a facade. We're in a relationship with possessed fucking people that are just portals. But that's another theory for another day. Okay, because if you really saw the ugliness behind those masks, I don't think you would want to play around with it. Anyway, so when my ex-husband did things like bust the windows out his car and flat his tires and did all these different things, that man wanted to literally strangle him. So here I was, right? I'm like, that's still my children's father, right? At the end of the day, I don't want to see him get hurt. I don't want to see him X, Y, and Z, because my children have to come back one day, and I got, and then this person, you hurt by this man, you understand? So it created drama, unnecessary drama. Okay? Unnecessary drama. So some of you, your person is going through that same experience. That woman has trust issues, and she be damned if they go and be happy with another person. And, the cycle will repeat itself. And they hate to see you get away. So, I just was like, this is too much for me. At this point, When my kids would go to see him, he would traumatize them. And I was just like, it's one thing for it to be me, but for it to affect my children, at that point, I was ready to lay down my life. You know what I'm saying? I was ready to go back and behave and do whatever was necessary to just stop the drama, because my weakness was my children. All right. And they know that, and they will exploit it. Trust me, this is why a lot of men, okay, or women, depending on what your preferences are, will legit go through these things, do these things to them, and watch how much you nurture your children, and then prey on you because you're leachable. Okay. They don't want no independent person. Trust me. So, I left him, and he was just like, he'll always be my friend. He'll always be my friend, and he was my friend. And every blue moon, he would check up on me. He would send a letter in the sky. He would check up on me, okay? And and my ex would wait for that, literally. Like, he would wait. He would check all my social platforms. He would stalk. He would literally, act like a little bitch. Okay. So, I don't know what this is even for. So, pretty much, I'm saying all that to say this. I'm not gonna just tell his story. Just keep it pushing. So many things happen. Okay. I ended up getting pregnant with the next child, and it's so crazy because both of our youngest children, or not our youngest children, he has more children, but before he ended up losing a daughter, and it was even when his karmic lost a daughter, I still literally was that one where I went and paid, while he was jammed in a situation, I went and sent her money when she lost her daughter. I just felt like, that's a hard thing for any mother to go through. It don't matter to me. The relationships and who's with who didn't matter to me. Like, losing a child is grieving, okay? And I can understand why she was so in love with him. And even though she would never be able to have his heart, that still hurt her, that she wasn't going to be able to fill a void for him. And there was a lesson for the both of them in that situation. But once he lost his daughter, things just took a turn and got really dark. Okay. Now with destiny, I can't say that it was never going to happen this way. I do feel like many of these stories end this way. Okay. That could have been me. But I decided to leave. Okay. Something had to become more than life, than death itself. Something had to become more than being depressed and sinking into the couch and just staying and accepting it and getting back up again and taking those emotional damage. Eventually you just have enough. And it takes time for people to get to that point. But in his particular situation, he was very unhappy. And she wasn't equipped spiritually. She was immature, and she wasn't equipped spiritually to be of any help or healing for him, what he needed. So, it broke my heart, but, he turned to drugs. And the crazy part about it is he was the main one that was like, don't do this drug. He didn't say like, don't do it. He just was like, let me give you something else. He was just so sweet. He was just like, at the time I was so depressed. I was like, fuck it. I'm finna smoke cigarettes. I had got addicted to cigarettes. I was really on my low shit. And he was like, he just passed me. He had even stopped smoking those things. He was like really changing his life. And he was like, instead of telling me no and talking to me and telling me what to do, he said, here, let me give you this and I'll take that. And, he just switched it up. He was like, you could take this and I'll take that. And I will. And the way that he did it, it was just so respectful. Like, I would never want to talk down to that man. Even to this day, I know what it feels like to be at that Three of Swords, low place in your life, and want to disappear and not live anymore. This man had no fear, okay? So when he killed himself, I promised myself that I would never go back. And it wasn't so much as for him, because I had already left and so many things had already transpired. But when in his situation, I got the news that he committed suicide, there were so many phone calls that I didn't take. There were so many things that I did not do. And, I'm not in regrets now, but at the time it took a lot of healing for me to come to peace with that. And it took a lot of grieving, and it took a lot. I had to allow myself to go through those phases of emotions, because I felt like no way. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, I know, but I know now, okay? I'm saying all this to say this. The things that have happened in the past were meant to happen that way. Forgive yourself. And I know it sounds easy, sounds hard, or I make it sound very easy, but I want you to know, I know firsthand that that shit ain't easy. Forgiving yourself ain't easy. But if he could teach me that he existed, then I can also believe that his soul still lives on. I can also believe that there are more men like him. If God created him, they created a plethora of him in different shapes, colors, sizes, you name it. So yes, I don't mind being single. I don't mind being free. I don't mind being happy. I don't mind having keeping an open mind when it comes to love, because he was my greatest teacher. Life taught me how to get back up. All right. And he's also taught me that if I could open my heart to him, that I could open my heart to someone better, just like him, as far as his soul. Just like there are multiple fathers all over the world that are great men. All right. And if he exists, then I could open my heart over and over again. He's the one that taught me love is big. Love is not selfish. It's not mine. It's not possessive. And that possessive energy, it comes from an insecurity. I don't need to possess, and it doesn't belong to me. But I'm going to love you and cherish you every single day. That's what it's really about. And that's why I'm sitting here today giving you this message. It exists. So if you've been struggling with being optimistic about your love life, if you've been struggling with believing that there's anything different, there is. All right? There is. And I believe you, whoever you are, you're going to be the one to get the message. And you're going to be the one, you hear that ding? You're going to be the one to do it differently in your family. You're going to be the one that says no more. I choose to go a different route. I will not be cheated on again. I will be happy. All right? All right, see it for what it is. Go within about it. What is it that you're refusing to see, and allow yourself to see it? What have you connected yourself to? What are you giving? Are you giving more than you're receiving? And then some of you have, in-laws and other people that are telling you, stay in it, stay in it, stay in it. What does your heart want, man? What does your heart want? And some of you, if you're a single father, I'm talking to you. Whether you're a single mom or a single father, this channel is for you too. Don't stop being romantic. Don't stop being loving. Don't stop being that person. Because the world needs to know that you exist. Please don't stop. All right. I love you guys. And I'll see you in the next message.